Hi everyone, my name's Lily and I'm going to be making a list of books I'm going to read in May. Most booktubers call this a TBR, so I'm going to be calling it. TBR stands for To Be Read in case you did not know. So the first thing I want to let you know for my May TBR is that I will not be reading the most recently published books. I currently have a whole bunch of books on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet, just because I've been picking books up at used bookstores and in bargain sections all the time because I can't pass up a good read that's cheap to buy. So currently I have at least 20 books on my shelf that are not read yet, and the goal is to read all of those before I get into any new releases that have been coming out or are to be coming out. I don't know how fast that's going to fly, because normally I can only read 30 books in a year, but I have plans to make that not this year. Alright, with all that said, let's dive in. The first book I plan to read is called Lone Wolf by Jodi Picoult. I sure hope I'm saying that right, but there's no guarantees just because I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I have read one of her books before, but her daughter, Samantha V. Lear, it was called Between the Lines, and I picked this up probably 2 years ago, and I did fly through it, but I did not enjoy it. I thought the writing was extremely cheesy, the storyline was not out there at all. It was just a very typical book, and I did not rate it very high, and I kind of vowed never to read one of her books again. Until I came upon this beauty in a used bookstore and was like, okay, maybe I'll give her another shot because, there is a chance that I just don't like her daughter's writing, and maybe I will like her writing. So let me tell you what this is about. The Lone Wolf follows a character who researches wolves, and he's been doing this for quite some time, mostly because that's all he knows how to do. Because of his research, his wife has left him, his kids have left him, and he himself is a lone wolf. Well, years later in his very lonely life, he gets into a car accident, and it's up to his 2 children to decide whether or not he lives or he dies. And I think that is just a really cool synopsis for a book because, number one, I love wolves, and I really hope I get to learn more stuff about them. And then there's also just that storyline of a family having to rediscover themselves and rekindle their love for each other if they can. So I'm pretty excited about this, and I think it's beautiful. I love books that are blue just because they have that mystery, dreamy, really deep feel to them. Not to mention, look at this. How many books do that? They don't, trust me. I just think that's beautiful. But, yeah. This book is 421 pages long, so it's a pretty big book for me. I don't tend to read very fast. If I'm lucky, I will get this done in a week. If I really like this, though, I could get this done in a few days, so it all depends on how good it is. The second book on my TBR is Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire. Now, this author has written Wiccan, and I have personally not read it. I have heard wonderful things about it. I haven't watched the play. I have read a little bit of the play in a class once, but other than that, I can't really say how I feel about his writing. I just heard wonderful things about it. He was not the reason I picked up this book. I picked up this book also in a used bookstore. Just because it has a steampunk look to it, and I love steampunk. It's like, okay, this is beautiful. Let me see what this is about. And I didn't realize that it said ugly stepsister. I thought it said spinster. So I was like, oh, okay, this will be interesting. But either way, it's going to be really interesting because it's a retelling of Cinderella in a sort of way. I mean, obviously following a stepsister. Let me read you the back of it, because it will say it a lot better than I ever could. Set against the backdrop of the 17th century Holland, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister tells the story of Iris, an unlikely heroine but finds herself swept from the lonely streets of Harlem to a strange world of wealth, artifice, and ambition. Iris's path quickly becomes intertwined with that of Clara, the mysterious and unnatural beautiful girl destined to become her sister. While Clara retreats to the cinders of the family hearth, Iris sees secrets of her new household and the treacherous truth of her former life. If that doesn't sound good to you, then I don't know what does. I'm really excited to dive into this. This book is 322 pages long, so once again, this is definitely not going to be a fast read for me. It all depends on how good it is. This could be a week's worth. I don't know. So, either way, I do hope to get it done in May. The next book on my TBR is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. It is set in the 18th century in Iceland. It follows a girl who's been convicted for murder. So she has a set date of execution, and within that year of waiting for her execution, she's sent to live on a farm. The people on the farm are absolutely terrified of her, so they don't talk to her. Who does talk to her and gets to know her is her assigned priest that's supposed to be her spiritual guide. He's supposed to help her find peace before she dies. And it's up to him to help her get her story out there. So, I think it sounds pretty good. I love murder mysteries. And like I said, it's blue. It just sounds right up my alley. So, this book is 368 pages. So hopefully I have time for all 3 of these books. It's definitely my goal. But, yeah, I would love to finish this and tell you how it is. Last but not least, I have a book that I want to finish, either within the next 2 days or the beginning of May. This will be my top priority, and that is Perfect by Sarah Shepard, and this is the 3rd book in the Pretty Little Liars series. I am completely behind in reading these series. I haven't ever tried. I have watched most of the shows, which is the only reason why I picked these up, because the writing style really didn't seem like it was for me, but I guess I just kind of went with it one day. It's just like, okay, I think it's time for me to get to know these characters a bit more intimately. So far, I'm liking the series. I like getting to know the characters a bit more. It's not my favorite series I've written. If I hadn't watched the shows, I probably would have set the series down, but I just like to compare it to the TV shows. This book is 278 pages, but I am at least 200 pages in, so I can probably finish this tonight if I was really ambitious. But so all in all, that is 4 books, 1,409 pages that I plan to read during May. Do I think I'm going to get through all of them? Probably not, but we're going to see. So yeah, that's my TBR. Thanks for watching. Bye.